start with the video.
Connectra creates opportunities for people with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards better inclusion and quality of life. August will include the following programming: Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative. Tuesdays are for ABC Studios Art Break with Connectra. Wednesdays are chair yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey. Thursdays are adaptive fitness with Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Fridays are contemporary improv dance classes with Janice Lawrence. Also coming up is Connectra's Community Barbecue. Join us on August 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. for a casual social gathering to celebrate another successful year and our Society's volunteers. Check out our updated programming calendar on our website, connectra.org, or follow us on social media.
Okay, Bobbie, you can start.
I'm just going to put my lovely, it's summertime scarf on. My hair is a little bit wet up on my neck. So, yeah, and then I'll just move into the iPad a little bit, make sure that from my perspective, am on gallery view. Awesome. Great. So, welcome, as always, to a deep welcome to everyone for this adapted seated yoga practice today. And so my name is Bobbie, and I'll be teaching the class. And Kassar is my name is Bob, who is amazing and has been guiding me through this whole I don't know, 3 years of trying to be online in a way that I'm able to
1.5 years.
pass on these lovely ancient teachings that have been also are contemporary, so adapted for folks in the West and or wherever, you know, if it resonates, it resonates. So that said, I'd like to invite you to begin by finding a comfortable sitting position. And so it can be challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And so just a heads up, we will be practicing mindfulness, mindful movement. And so if you know that balance is a challenge for you, make sure that you have what you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so now is a good time if you're wanting to get those things. So I'm going to hop back into my chair that's a little further away, and I'll push this rocking chair away. And I'll take it from there. And so, as always, an invitation to begin a yoga class with what is sometimes referred to as a centering practice. And so, teacher, student, and of course, I'm student first, but it can be a bit challenging just to land in a space, a yoga class, without centering first. So an invitation again to make sure that you're seated in a way that feels most comfortable for you. And then to like move your shoulders up, back and down. And to relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to, if possible, and from my kind of viewpoint, and this is my viewpoint only, and so it is always possible to practice a pose, a movement, etc. It's just finding the way that yoga can meet you. And so yoga meets us exactly where we are. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite you to ground down through your sits bones. So maybe noticing where your bum, your bottom, and your thighs are in contact with your seat. And so if it's helpful, you might do a little bum dance, or you can pull the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. And our belly, our abdomen is soft. That area between our navel and our pubic bone. And not an easy place to get to in our culture that's obsessed with flat tummies, blah, blah, blah. And in reality, when our belly is soft, it means that our nervous system is more balanced. And I'd like to invite you to lengthen up through your spine. Sitting up nice and tall, and lift your shoulders up, back, and down. And so soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, you tuck your chin in slightly, parallel with the floor. And sometimes it can be helpful to put a finger or two on our chin and imagine a turtle. And so from here, an invitation to, if it feels comfortable for you, to close your eyes softly, or to soften your gaze. And so it can be calming for our nervous system to look down on the floor of the earth, wherever you're practicing from. Maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of you on the ground, with a soft gaze. That can be calming for our nervous system. And so our attention begins to move inward. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Our attention moves inward. So notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders, overhead. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, an invitation to bring a gentle awareness to your breath, to the breath. And so placing one hand on your yoga belly, your abdomen, your other hand, well, we'll just start on your belly to begin with. So one hand on your belly. And so on inhale, things expand. You might feel your belly expand on an inhale. On exhale, things contract. Inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. So if you're blessed with a yoga buddy today, someone that can help guide the movements, and of course with your permission, placing their hands as I cue these various placements, if that's not available to you physically. And so on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest. your heart center. And maybe noticing the pattern of movement of your breath between your abdomen and your upper chest. And then see if you can make your breath just a little bit longer than it was when we began. So if you'd like to add a gentle rocking movement to the breathing, breath awareness, yogic breathing. So this gentle swaying, there's something about it that often our nervous system likes. And so you move in a way that is so subtle that if I was to see you, look at you, I might not even notice that you're moving. And now I'd like to invite you to see if you can make your exhale. So exhale, lengthen the exhale. And so when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding stress and tension. And so during your yoga practice today, whenever possible, I'd like to invite you to keep this deep, long, easeful breath. So as an alternative, however, I'd like to offer two other ways to center, to ground. And so one of them would be to imagine a sense of gentle gravity, pushing your feet down into the earth, grounding feet on the earth, allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. And so we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. We're down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Spine is long. Belly soft. And then lastly, as an option during the yoga practice today, if you are feeling yourself and moving towards being overwhelmed, anxious, not comfortable, would be to explore bringing a gentle awareness to the soundscape around you. So maybe noticing the sound that's furthest away. And then bringing a gentle awareness to the sound closest to you. And then to the sound in between. And so just for a few more breaths, or a few more moments, keeping this lovely practice going in your own time. And then it's ready. If your eyes are closed, gently blink your eyes open. And an invitation for everybody, if you'd like to take a look around the space that you are in and to name 3 objects. Okay, so moving on, a little wiggly fidget. So, yeah, calm dance. And so we all have our own sense of it, right? So be creative. So at this time, I think I'm going to come into the iPad just a little bit closer. My sense is that I might be a little far away. I know for me, actually, I'm feeling as though I can't see the screen well enough to guide you optimally. So I'm going to come a little bit closer. for now. And so I've got my grantee chair here, the rocking chair. So an original word by a friend of mine, her name is Wendy. And I think she referred to me as a grantee one day. So a great aunt. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I quickly connected with her and I said, can I use that word? And she said, by all means, love you to. So I'm a grantee, and so great aunt. And my kin, family immediate here now, would be my rabbit EB. So he may well make an appearance. He does his own thing pretty much. And so, of course, most of us are at home or, in spaces where we're sharing with others. So all is welcome. That said, the least amount of distraction possible is a good idea when practicing yoga. So I was revisiting some of my research that I've been, privileged to do. And I guess time is relative, but in recent years. And so I was invited to participate in a pilot study. And the pilot study was exploring the potential benefits of yoga for people living with spinal cord injury. And so I'm just going to move in a little bit. And this was one of my posters. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll put I don't know. Good enough. Anyway, this way. Yeah. So I was kind of
We can see it, Bobbie. We can see it.
Cool. And I was thinking, well, good idea to check in with everyone and does this still work and does it resonate with people? And I got like 2 thumbs up, so I'm going with it. But and it's really described really my intention when I'm sharing the classes. And so that's a reason, one of the reasons I brought it up today. So I'm just going to read from this, and then I'm pretty much going to follow some of the guidelines that I used through the pilot study. I don't know. I guess it was in March, or it was in 2017. So here we go. So adaptive yoga. What is adaptive yoga? So adapted, by Yogability. And so ability, Yogability, a suggested word from one of the students who were participating at the time. So adaptive yoga is a gentle, individualized therapeutic yoga practice adapted for persons living with mobility disabilities. So this specific research was for people with spinal cord injury. However, that said, there's a much broader invitation to this class. And so everyone is welcome. And so, so essentially this, if it works for you, applies. So, so for folks with mobility disabilities, it combines simple breathing techniques with gentle movements and basic modified yoga postures while seated, leading to physical and mental relaxation and other benefits of yoga, increased strength, balance, and flexibility. Yoga can be a great tool to connect body, heart, mind, and spirit. Phew. So yoga is work and work in progress. And so, however, that said, it's also play. So I hope you enjoy the class today. Any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. So we'll make some time at the end of the class for discussion. So for now, moving on, an invitation to bring your hands to your chest, to your heart center, if you'd like. And so maybe even just taking a moment to notice how it feels to have your hands in this vulnerable place in your body. And again, if you have a yoga buddy that can help guide in that way, wonderful. And so an invitation now to lift your heart to your hands, bowing your head to your heart, and to take a moment to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. And so maybe setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga practice for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then as you're ready, bowing your head to your heart, gradually blinking your eyes open if they were closed. And then on invitation, extend your arms up and away. And so your arms can be as high or low as you'd like. And so I'm comfortable with my arms a little lower than my arms or shoulders. Sometimes I'm back backwards. If you know what I mean, just go for it. And then take your hands back to your heart center. And so if it makes you lose your balance, taking your hands to your heart center, this place on your hands, place your hands on your belly, or maybe even lower down, whatever works for you. So breathing in, things expand, and breathing out, things contract. So bowing our head towards our heart gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. Inhale, extending your arms up and away. And this time, an invitation to make soft fists as you take your hands back to your heart center and your belly. So soft fists can be good if you have arthritis in your hands. Inhale. And so an invitation in your own time and rhythm to practice this gentle, mindful movement. And if you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. And then as we expand our arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around us. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it might be that you're visualizing the movements. Imagination is powerful. Inhale. And this time, on an exhale, bring your hands towards your heart center, your Buddha belly, making a humming sound like a bumblebee. Inhale. Lips can touch lightly if that works for you. Inhale. We're breathing in. Breathe in whatever way you can if you're congested. And one last time, inhale. Extend your arms up and away. Exhale, bumblebee breath. Place one hand on your abdomen, the other on your chest, your heart center. And maybe take a moment to notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And a little shake out. So it is yoga time. And so one of my favorite quotes in the whole wide world would be by Krishnamacharya, an old Indian dude who lived to be 100. And he's believed by many to be the father of modern yoga and hugely responsible for passing on these ancient teachings to us, making it possible for us to practice yoga. So yoga, India's gift to the world. And so moving on, I'd like to invite you to repose. So I'm going to move back a little bit, ground through your feet. Walk your feet forward a little bit if you need to. If you're stable in your chair, you can look at your feet. So ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. We want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen the spine. So did you know we can create space between our vertebrae? We're tallest in the morning. And tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then from here, I'd like to transition into a practice to warm up. And so we'll begin with our eyes. And so an inhale, looking up towards the ceiling, to the sky, skyward. And then looking downwards, soft gaze towards the floor. And if you'd like, adding a gentle breathing movement on inhale, looking up. Maybe our eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And then looking down, soft gaze. And so as you're ready, an invitation now, if you'd like, to add gentle neck movements, to the eye movements on inhale, looking up. So warming up our cervical spine. And then looking downwards. So as if we're nodding yes. So if you need to repose, repose. Hold on to the undersides of your chair. Inhale, looking up. Exhale. So an invitation, well, actually, I'd like to suggest that you not throw your head back. So keeping our head in line with our spine. And finish up the movement that you're on. Take a moment. Check in. Notice as your breath still long and smooth and easeful. And then an invitation to bring one ear towards your shoulder. You notice how it feels to tuck your chin in slightly. And then move your head back and forth, so from side to side. Soft Buddha belly, yoga belly, quiet breath. And now it's ready. Bring your head back to center. Finish up the movement that you're on. And then turn to soft gaze. Moving towards your shoulder. So only move your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And so an option would be to visualize the movement today if this feels uncomfortable or hurts. And then as if you're nodding no, turn your head from side to side. And then it's ready. Bring your head back to center. Good. And we'll shake out. So from here, let's actually continue moving down along our spine or up, however you want to view it. So I think we'll actually move down. We'll start with this gentle practice called cat and cow. And all of the movements and the poses in yoga have a huge, huge, huge story and history. If you're ever wanting to look it up, I am happy to provide resources for that. If you ever want to connect with me online or however, an email. So let's just begin by shoulders up, back and down. We'll shake out. And feet are placed evenly on your footrest, the floor. And so, cat and cow. So what I'd like to invite you to explore, if possible, and of course it's always possible. We can, and we will. So draw your chest in. So it's as if your sternum is moving to the back of your ribs. And then move your sternum forward and up. So adding a breath if you like. On exhale, sternum moves in towards the back of the rib cage. Chin in. And so for a few more breaths, your own time and rhythm, keeping this gentle warm up for your cervical spine flowing. And so I can tell I'm still a work in progress. My buttons are totally askew, so there you go. And so you might notice that naturally on the exhale, as we round our shoulders and join our chest in, that the hands naturally have a propensity to slide forwards. And as we breathe in, hands slide towards our hips. And so sliding our hands along our thighs, our knees, can help increase our proprioceptive awareness. And so big praise for knowing where our body is in relation to space. And I'm just going to turn my chair sideways, I think, so you can maybe get a better view of what's going on with the spine. So of course we know our spines matter. And so if sliding your hands, if you're super duper sensitive, sliding your hands along your sides might feel like too much. So maybe explore moving so that your hands are just hovering above your legs. So you might be comfortable with referring to this as moving energetically. For some of you. And then slowly coming back to a neutral spine. So I'm going to turn my chair around. And relax your arms by your side, in your lap, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take those precious few moments between the poses and the movements to notice how you feel. And in a way, yoga happens between the poses and the movement. So not about what the form looks like, the movement. The diagnostic tool is, how do I feel? No judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so moving on, let's repose. So I'd like you to ground through your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. Sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine is long, shoulders back and down. And then you tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice. So I'm thinking that we are going to do a little bit of work with a little more with our neck and head and face before we move on to some more of the movements of the spine. So I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice of face yoga. So in this practice, we're going to be making some nasty faces. And so I can't see you. You can see me, unless you want me to, of course. There are a few of you who are in person, which is lovely. Video on. You always have your video off. And make sure to check out the classes later on YouTube and Facebook. But anyway, moving on. So face yoga. One of the most challenging places to release tension is in our face and our neck and shoulders and so on, especially these days. So I'd like to invite you, sitting comfortably, to open your mouth wide. And relax. And this time, invitation to open your mouth wide and see if you can bring your lips over your teeth. And relax. And now I'd like to invite you to draw your facial muscles towards your nose, towards your nostrils. You just put into 11. And relax. And then if you'd like, it's available to you. Make a soft fist. So again, if you have a yoga buddy, this is something that they can help you with if you'd like. So make a soft fist, and you can, if it's helpful to hold your arm, bring it up to your third eye, so middle of the forehead. It's a lot of conversation about what is the third eye, where is it? So my understanding, middle of the forehead, thereabouts, and placing gentle pressure here can be calming for our nervous system. And then it's ready. We'll shake out again. And then if you like, bring your hand up and over. Place your hand on the side of your head. Relax your other arm by your side or hold on to the chair whenever you need to feel balanced, stable. So we're creating resistance. And other side. And then lastly, if you'd like, I'm going to turn my chair to this piece. Hands at the base of your skull. And so I'm going to actually maybe take some of my hair out of the elastic for this. Base of the skull. And press your head gently against your hands. So if you can do this with a yoga buddy, or if you have a headrest, some of you do who are wheelchair users. If it feels okay for your neck, you can press your head gently against your headrest. And maybe you want to do a little butterfly wings, if that feels okay. Looking up towards the sky. And release. And shake out again. Wiggly fidgets. I'm just going to refer to some of the notes that I used all that time ago, 2017. And so one of the things I love exploring in yoga practice is using sound as a way to minimize pain. And so, of course, pain care, pain management, huge topic, and so much research and wonderful stuff happening in that department. However, you know, I am only able to incorporate, scratch the surface, and really that's kind of where I am. Not superficial, but I've only scratched the surface. And so what I understand to be from a yogic perspective is that sound can help minimize pain. And so in yoga, and again, this is my understanding, we can't, whatever affects our mind affects our body, whatever affects our body affects our mind. And so I know, pun intended, that I'm singing to the choir when I state that sound has a vibration. And so today I'd like to explore adding movements to sound if you'd like. So the movement, you're visualizing the movements. And so at some point we'll add the sound, but always it begins by making sure that we've got our feet on the earth, not firmly planted in the earth. Sit bones are sharp on the chair. And spine long, shoulders back and down. And so I'd like to invite you, when you're ready, to reach your arm up to the sky. So reach up as high as feels comfortable for you. And then releasing your arm down, making the sound A. And so whatever we do on one side, we do on the other if possible. So reaching your arm up to the sky. And this time the letter O. O. And if you like and it's available to you, reaching both arms up. And this time the letter M, like a bumblebee sound. Lips, yeah, slightly touching. You can imagine you just tasted something sweet. And this time, arm out to the side, gazing past your middle finger, looking up. That feels okay for your neck. Otherwise, keep a soft gaze word, and we'll do the same letters. So we release our arm down, A. Other side, extend your arms, spiral your palm open, reach up to the sky. Letter O. Both arms up, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your belly this time, or your heart center if you like. Reach up to the sky. Imagine you're holding a beach ball if you like. It is summertime. And on exhale, letter A. Inhale, reach up, extend your arm away. Letter O. Other side, extend, open up your armpit, get bigger in space. Letter M. And then lastly, if you like, inhale, extend your arms up and away. And then I'd like to invite you to cross one arm over the other. So maybe elbow point to elbow crease, placing your hands on your shoulders. See if you can walk your fingertips back. Drop your chin towards your chest. Allow your shoulders to round towards your front body. So this is the time when it's okay to round the shoulders towards the front body, as long as it doesn't create discomfort. If it feels better, you can hold on to your elbow points. So I'd like to invite you now to give yourself a bear hug. So I love me bear hug. And then extend your arms up and away. And so bear hug number 2. Maybe remembering which arm was on top. We're taking hold of your elbows. Tuck your chin in slightly. And bear hug number 2. I love me. And because I love me, I can love all of you. So imagine, or if possible, extend your arms up and away. I'd like us to imagine that we're moving away from me to we, and that we're sending everybody near and far, loved ones, kins, friends, even globally. So we're quickly becoming a global community, that we're sending a big hug. And then lastly, one more time, maybe placing one hand on your belly, the other on your heart center. Bowing our head towards our heart. And take a rest. And so from here, the curve of time. So I am wearing a watch these days, so I know that we're nearing the end of the yoga class in a formal way. And so I'd like to come down off the mountain with an invitation for you to find a comfortable sitting position. And so sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. And so if you happen to have a cushion, a yoga mat, you feel lovely, place along the spine. I almost always make sure I have cushions around. And so I'm just going to grab this cushion. Oh, sorry. So whatever feels good for you. If you have the ability to put your legs up on the chair, go for it. Make sure that you have what you need to stay comfortable. So it is cooler on the West Coast today. I always like to have a blanket nearby. A little bit of weight on our sides can encourage a grounding sensation, can help with fatigue. That said, of course, that doesn't feel good for everyone. And so recline in your chair, do whatever feels good for you. And then an invitation to join me in a guided meditation, so short. And we'll move from the meditation into your final relaxation, the dessert part of the practice. And so this is going to be my scarf. Even a pair of socks might feel good for you. And so I think what I'd like to do is maybe read just a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, so, and then move into one of the practices that I learned from this beloved Thich Nhat Hanh, a Zen Buddhist monk. And I'm told that some of his students would refer to him as Tiki, but I'm not entirely sure. I might have to do a little more research, but certainly that's feels right to me. And so this book was actually given to me by my brother, who passed away several years ago, and so it's cherished, and I like to open it from time to time and just read from it. And so Thich Nhat Hanh, from the book Creating True Peace. And so so I think I'll just go ahead and open up Creating True Peace. I'll just start at the beginning. And I did look at it earlier with the intention of sharing something with you. So hopefully this resonates, and if not, just set it aside. And so, what is true peace? True peace is always possible, yet it requires strength and practice, particularly in times of great difficulty. To some, peace and nonviolence are synonymous with passivity and weakness. In truth, practicing peace and nonviolence is far from passive. To practice peace, to make peace alive in us, is to actively cultivate understanding, love, and compassion, even in the face of misperception and conflict. Practicing peace, especially in times of war, requires courage. And so I'm just going to pull a quote from the following paragraph. And so we become aware that our mind is like a garden that contains all kinds of seeds. Seeds of understanding, seeds of forgiveness, seeds of mindfulness, and also seeds of ignorance, fear, and hatred. We realize that at any given moment we can behave with either violence or compassion, depending on the strength of these seeds within us. And so finding that comfortable seated position, an invitation to be comfortable but still alert, awake, and to, if you'd like, placing your hands in a hand gesture. So this is one I learned in a yoga Buddhist training. So palms face down. And so hand gestures are created to help us focus our mind. And so placing your palms face down doesn't feel comfortable for you. Choose whatever hand placement you like. And for this practice, feel free to have your eyes closed. Softly you're gazing down towards the earth, the floor, 3 or 4 feet in front of you. And soft Buddha belly, quiet breath. And then an invitation to look down and into your heart. To see what you can see. And then to breathe into your heart. And so if you'd like, you can draw your hands in towards your hips. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. I'm breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. And so we'll sit and breathe together for a few moments with a gentle reminder. Breathing. And so come into whatever comfortable seated or reclined position you like for your final relaxation. And so one suggestion perhaps might be if you have the ability to put your chair up against a wall, and you're able to place something behind your head, a yoga block, whatever that might be, feel free to explore that. Alternatively, reclining in your chair if you have a super duper chair that you're able to do that in. And one of my faves is placing this yoga mat along my spine. So quite a few alternatives. And so I'm thinking if you're female, you might just place it just below your ribs. And if you're male, and so maybe right along the spine. And so female, male, so our bodies are different. So our organs are set up differently. And it has to do with giving birth, childbirth. And so maybe playing with that idea. And then when you're ready, lift your shoulders up, back and down. And then relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. Close your eyes softly, focused inward, or soften your gaze. So this is meant to be a deep, conscious relaxation. We're not meant to fall asleep in it. If you fall asleep in the yoga practice, it is not rocket science. It just means you're tired. So no judgment. And so soft palms, soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. And quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose, the serenity pose. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. soften around your temples. And soften the area between your eyebrows, wide forehead. And if it feels nice, maybe touching those areas yourself as like cue, or your yoga buddy can do that softly. The intention, of course, of love and kindness. So wide forehead. And silently, if you'd like, on inhale, so breathing in, saying let, on exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our belly or abdomen can be helpful, bringing our awareness to our breath. So without changing anything, bring a gentle awareness back to your breath, or maybe a gentle sense of grounding. Be pushing down to the earth, Mother Earth, or into, that feels good. Shoulders relax away from our ears, or perhaps in the soundscape around you. We're noticing the sound furthest away and then closest to you, maybe the sound in between. And then if your eyes were closed, softly, gently blink your eyes open. And come on back, seated up comfortably to finish your yoga practice. And now an invitation for us all, if you'd like, to take a look around the space that you're in and name 3 objects. And so we'll finish up the practice today with you just taking a moment to honor yourself and each other, near and far, seen and unseen, all those who are here today, and past, present, and future. So honoring our ancestors. Thank you, Kausar, for providing the much needed tech piece, and the Connectra and the Disability Foundation for providing this time to hang out together and have fun practicing yoga. So Teacher Me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. So I'm just going to come in a little closer to my iPad. If you'd like to hang out, that's great. If not, I know we all have lives, busy or not.
That was nice with the, thanks for sharing the passage in the book that your brother gave you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty close to my heart, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that it was meaningful for you, Kim.
It was.